A company may have various liabilities in its balance sheet. Liabilities may arise in many ways, and it may happen through transactions which a company enters into or through its operational dealings. It is important for a company to show in its balance sheet how those liabilities have arisen, and more importantly as well, whether those liabilities are due to be paid within the short term or the long term. For accounting purposes, this means that liabilities are needed to be bucketed into non-current or current. I'll come to the actual accounting standard requirements later, but what this really means is that users and readers of the financial statements need to be able to look at a balance sheet. They need to be able to study the current and non-current liability split and understand the company's ability to meet its debt obligations as and when they fall due. This is really important because it means that the company is giving a slice of information to investors on what its directors think that it will be able to repay debts, as well as continue to repay interest and service loans, be it short-term or long-term. There is a specific accounting standard which requires this split between current and non-current. This accounting standard is AASB 101, Presentation of Financial Statements. In the standard, the specific wordings are that a company or a preparer of financial statements is required to compare their liabilities and bucket them into current if they are due to be repaid in the next 12 months, or if there is no way to defer the repayment after 12 months, or non-current, which is any other liability that doesn't fall in the first bucket. This is exceptionally important and is based on a lot of factors which management and directors need to be comfortable with. They need to consider factors such as their ability to negotiate on loans with banks. If a loan is due to be repaid in the next 12 months, is there a refinancing agreement between the bank and the company? Can that loan be pushed out and repaid greater than 12 months later? If it has to be repaid within the 12 months, then it has to be presented as current in the balance sheet. This is a critical issue in practice and in the market. It is something that investors and analysts and users of financial statements focus on when they look at the financial statements. In the past, there have been experiences where companies have misstated their balance sheet, where an amount of non-current liabilities should have been appropriately classified as current liabilities. However, this wasn't done, and the investors had relied on information provided in the financial statements in order to invest in the company or make decisions regarding investments relating to the company. When it was found out that there was a misclassification of such non-current liabilities, those companies have often been subject to class actions by investors. And in those cases, those companies haven't ended up well with their share prices plummeting. This is a market reaction to what happens when a company does not release accurate and true and fair information of how they present their balance sheet. As a result, directors today pay a lot of attention to the current and non-current classification, and this is something that as auditors and as accounting advisors, we always advise our clients to pay attention to as well.